So this tutorial is going to be on the whip catch and the easy basic stick grind. So as usual, I'll just start off by showing you what they look like really quickly. Alright, so that was a whip catch. I don't know if you could see it. It should have been visible by the door. But really brief explanation before I go into it close to the camera. I toss up the Diablo on my sticks and just whip down at the Diablo as it came down, and they wrapped around it and I caught it. Pretty simple. I'll explain more how to catch it more easily, but first I'll show you the stick grind really quickly here, and then I'll delve into it a little bit more specifically. Didn't exactly work out the way I had hoped, but hey, I kind of got a little bit for you. Never really do well under pressure. But so as I try and show you the stick grind again, I'll explain the whip catch. So the way I did it was I simply threw up the Diablo with the normal toss, and I took the sticks, put them in one hand really quickly, and chucked them at the Diablo. Or rather, whipped the Diablo, caught it. How to put this? A lot of people do this other method that I'll explain to you, but that doesn't really work out for me, mostly because I pretty much only do this in my room, and I don't have a high enough ceiling to really do it. I mean, I don't know if some people do it, but, you know, that's just them. I don't feel like banging my walls a lot. But, there was a stick grind. A lot better. Oops, nailed the string. But anyway, what I do for the whip catch is I take the Diablo, I do a basic toss, just pull the sticks apart, it comes out. I put these, let's see here, easy to understand. I put these into one hand, like so, with like my 1 or 2 fingers in between. So it creates a nice little space in between them at the tips. So when I swing it, it'll have a nice kind of arc here, little space. And I come, and once it's thrown, if I'm facing this way, yada yada, I throw it. I come to the side, and I whip from the side, so that it looks something like this. From the side, I come and I whip, so that the one stick kind of comes, and that string catches on it. So that's a lot of the times why it looks like somebody's taking the string and just whipping it, so it looks like both the strings kind of come down and around it at the same time in the same direction and mystically wrap around it. You know, magical, but that's not how it's done. It's I think that's what most people do. They come onto the side of it with a gap between their sticks, and they aim one stick to come right in that gap right there. Just right there. Oh, the string's got what's up? In that gap, so one string's in there and they pull it, and then it's effectively caught. A lot of people do this method where they take it, they move both sticks to one hand when it's still in this here right here. They take their left hand or whatever hand they're not holding the sticks in, and they take it and they pop up the Diablo while still holding these in one hand, or yeah, they pop up the Diablo so that they have just this. This is in the air. While the Diablo's in the air, they take these and they move their hand down so that they're holding the strings like this. They catch the Diablo on top of this, like so. And then they take this string and wrap it around the top of this and over to here, and so it looks something like that. And from there they just toss it up and whip it. So it is effectively more like a whip because you're just using one hand to toss it up and catch it. But I can't do that really crappy Diablo. It's just no bearing, just a little piece of metal right here. So that's not easy for me. So I just toss it up, move them to one hand, and just catch it, because, I mean, that's the way I've always done it. And that's why it's easiest. Speed isn't a big thing in this one. Addressing the important factors. Yeah, speed is not one of the important things to focus on. It's really more practice and just coming and like aim one stick, like kind of get a feel for where one of your sticks is if you're holding both sticks in one hand, and aim it right for the middle of the Diablo. See how like if the camera point right here were the center point of the Diablo, where the sticks, the strings lie, just kind of aim one stick at it. So just like that, and that should make it easy for you. Speed isn't as big as an issue because it's really up in the air most of the time. The stick grind, that's really simple. All you do is kind of, if the Diablo is spinning in this direction, then you're going to kind of tilt the stick down a bit, because it's going to try and roll its way up. So if you hold it perfectly level, the Diablo will roll off of the stick. But if you want it just to kind of stay, you just kind of balance it a little bit. And when you're done and ready to pull it off, you can kind of just tip it down into the string like that. There's a lot of different things you can do with that. But pretty much it's just, you know, you can take it from one stick and transfer it to the other. You can do all kinds of weird stuff with it, you know. It's not too restricted just to holding it like this. But that's about it, so have fun with it. Ask questions if you need to, and check out my other tutorials.